Machine is powered up, it's honed, and it's prepared for production, right? We've also activated a program that we're going to run, program number 304. We've also fixtured our workpiece, in this case in a vise, with parallels underneath it to set up our datum reference frame. The next thing that I'm going to show you how to do is we're going to set a fixture offset. Kind of a neat thing is the Haas and the Fanucs and most of the current technology machines on the market have a very simple method of measuring your offset for you, okay? So today we're going to use an edge finder which happens to already be set up in the machine. I saw it, it is right over here and it's tool number, I think, 10. So I'm going to put tool number 10 in the spindle by inputting code into MDI. The code to change a tool is an M code, which is a miscellaneous function, and it's M6. M6 simply tells the machine change tools. I'm going to give it two codes. Anybody know what that second code is going to be?
Location.
What tool? I need to tell it what tool to put in the spindle. So here's our language to the machine. I'm going to tell it T10 M6, end of block insert. And I'm going to hit cycle start after closing the doors. I guessed it, tool 10. Cycle start, it puts up tool 1, goes and gets tool 10, and now you'll see tool 10 is now in the spindle and ready to use. That's how we communicate with the machine. We speak to it in its language. I ask it very specifically to do me a function. Put tool 10 in the spindle. T10 M6. End of block is finish that line of code. Insert puts it into the buffer of the machine to ready it to run. Cycle start actually runs the program, in this case the single line of code.
How many tools can that hold?
This one can hold 20 different tools at one time. We've got one.
MDI and ENC?
Yes, MDI stands for manual data input. So I have to be in MDI to manually input data into the machine.
So the programmers, when they were designing the system, they actually set it up so it's automatically going to take the tool out that's already in there, as opposed to trying to put the tool in there when it's already out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we don't actually have to.
No, you don't have to worry about the codes to put the tool up. Here's the thing. When I run an M6, it's going to go down and pull a program that's built into the machine. The machine manufacturer wrote the subroutine to do all the tool change. Because there's a lot that happens. That spindle orients into a specific location. It actually goes to a specific location in Z. Did you see me tell it, go to Z location for tool change? No. Regardless of where I'm at in Z, when I tell it, I'm going to go T, MDI, T11, M6, end of block, insert. Whoops. Got a little rambunctious there. I'm going to tell it T11, M6. When I hit cycle start, watch, this thing's going to go up in Z to the tool change location. Watch what happens on the screen. Nothing, the door is open. Let me turn that off. Y'all didn't see me do that. I don't want you to know how to do that. Cycle start. Up. Too late. Up, orient, put the current tool up, move to 11, grab hold of the tool, raise up in Z, move the tool out, come down. I didn't write any of that, did I? All of that is going to happen every time you tell it M6. So there's subroutines built into this machine to make your life a lot easier. We just got to learn how to speak to the machine to make them do it. We got to talk its language. M6 happens to be its language to do all of that. Cool? Let's put tool 10 back in this. Oh, let me show you a shortcut. There's cheats and shortcuts on some machines. This is specific to a Haas machine. I want to put tool 10 back in the spindle. That tool 10 is one socket behind tool 11, isn't it? I can, in MDI mode of operation, I can say ATC reverse. What's ATC stand for? Close. Automatic tool changer. ATC. That'll be in your reading assignment and your chapter quiz and your final exam. Remember that one. ATC stands for automatic tool changer. If I just tell it ATC reverse, it puts up the current tool, moves back one slot, and puts that tool in. There's other cheats that Haas allows you to do. Let's say I want tool 1. Well, that's not one slot on either side, is it? That's 10 slots off. I can shortcut this by saying tool 1, ATC forward. It will put up the current tool, go get tool 1, and put it in the spindle. So there's more than one way to skin that cat. Now, what I just showed you is not available on a Fanuc machine over here on the Doosan. So that is a Haas specific ability. All your machines have a little bit of personality, so to speak, okay? But the bottom line is, once you learn how to drive a car, what do you drive?
I drive a smart car.
I'm sorry. Do you drive a real car?
Pontiac.
Pontiac. If I take her out of that General Motors vehicle and I put her in a substandard vehicle like a Ford, she still knows how to drive a vehicle. She has all of the understanding of put a key in, start it, one of those pedals down there is a brake, one of them's a gas. I got to have some way, whether it's a standard or an automatic, I've got to go into a forward gear. She knows all of that. So if I take her out of her Pontiac and put her in a Ford, she can still get from point A to point B more than likely, right? Same way with CNC machines, guys. We learn the foundation of how they work, and when we walk up to a new machine, we just have to figure out what buttons to push, okay? If I put her in a Lexus, she got no key. She's going to push a button to start it, isn't she? So they're all going to have their own little quirks and personalities. Whether the dimmer switch is a light switch on the dash or a pedal on the floor or a turn signal that clicks one way or another, if you need your headlights, you're going to figure out how to turn them on, aren't you? Because you know that car's got headlights. Same way with a CNC machine, guys. We're going to have a way to set a fixture offset. We're going to have a way to put a tool in the spindle. We just got to figure out how to do it on this machine. Cool? And when you've been driving for 30 years, it don't matter what they put in. If it's got a steering wheel, you can drive it, right? All right, so I'm going to put tool 10 back in the spindle. My edge finder. You want to start a fresh one on setting a fixture offset?